Okay, so welcome everyone. It is November 10th. You can believe that one, right?
No.
And it is 9:58 a.m. Welcome to the Board of Registrar meeting. So I'd like to call that to order and start out with our first agenda item to approve the minutes from August 4th. So has everybody got a chance to review it? Any comments or concerns? It's a relatively short meeting, so
Yeah, no, it's fine.
okay.
Yep, nothing.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You trained me well, Dan. You trained me well. All right. So,
All opposed?
we don't have any.
Yeah, all right. Just
The math.
didn't know if it was a formality.
Okay. So, so our next agenda item is to discuss the preparation for the draft end of year report. And you sent us a great deal of information.
Yeah.
And so you probably have lots of other stuff to talk about.
Yep. Okay, so this is the end of year report that was turned in last year. And if you want to change any of the wording, but as far as the data, that's all in my office and I'll pull it at the end of December. It's due on January 31st. And last year, Mike submitted it. The year previous, Candy did. If you want to change the wording of any of it, but most of it is fixed information in regards to the election data and the financial report.
Okay. Yeah, because Dan, oh, sorry. Yeah, because Dan had drafted that kind of new format last year. So if there's no other different requirements or data that needs to be included in that for this year, that
There's not. I reached out to Cindy because this will be my first time submitting for Grafton. And she said, no, this format is great. This data is great. And it's all numbers from what we have.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, we had done a couple of different events last year that I think we included in the report.
The elections.
It was just related to the activities of the Board of Registrars.
from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we had gone to, what's that?
We went to Crescent Manor.
Crescent
We did the night out.
The night out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think we did anything really this year.
No, this year was pretty quiet.
Yeah. The only thing was the special, not special election, but the state required audit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we attended that.
That was last
been
year.
last
Yeah,
year.
that was last
Was that
year
last
as well.
year? Okay.
For the November election. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's been quiet this year.
Yeah. It has been off year. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll draft it up and send you a copy prior, but we might as well hold off till closer to the time. So all the financial numbers and stuff are
Nope.
Okay.
That's great.
Great.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. So our next agenda item is the VRIS replacement system, the status of that.
Yeah, so I did reach out to the state. I've heard nothing about testing or implementation. They said that there is not a date for the rollout and that they just have no information of any dates coming.
Okay.
So they're still replacing it.
They didn't even promise that.
I thought it was all in the works and was supposed to be implemented in June.
It was, but they just haven't done it. I'm sure they're still going to do it, but they do not have any dates. They said there's no information. I've called like 3 people.
Okay. You can't make them do it.
Right. I think they probably will. I think, they put a lot of work and money into it. It's
Yes.
just when is it coming? I don't know. They're just not releasing that information yet.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what it would look like? I mean, is there any draft or anything?
No.
Nothing.
The clerk that I worked with in Southborough was on the team to develop it, and he doesn't have any information either, but it was a more user-friendly screen because this one is a very old system.
I see.
And so it was also that you could request reports and then they would be populated
Okay.
more than the twice a day.
Okay. Well, I'm sure when I get information, let
I'll
us know.
tell you as soon as I hear. I just haven't heard anything. And I did reach out to 3 separate people, including the former clerk that I worked with. But
Yeah.
he said there's nobody's even tested it yet.
Wow. Yeah. No, it seems like everything was like really gung ho and yep, it's coming. Yep, get ready. We're gonna do training and it. Yeah. So I was like, whatever happened to that? I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's just quiet right now. But I'll keep you posted.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, well, thank you for that. The next agenda item is creating a calendar of voting and registration events, requirements, and deadlines for 2026. And you put a very nice packet together here. Yeah, so if we want to just review it, brief summary.
Sure.
Okay.
So the census, I'll be using the same vendor. I already have the template with them. I'll pull the extract in December. I've been continuing to check that monthly as I promised when I started in March for duplicates. So I feel like our list is pretty clean. And then I'll send that to them. It'll go out the first week in January, but that is slightly flexible. It has to do with postage. That's a 2-part payment and when the payment's received from here. So, but everything from my end is all set.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
And then the annual report, I already talked to the town administrator's office. I know the data I have to provide, so I'll take care of that. The election worker training, I plan to do that myself. I'll do probably 4 sessions, a daytime and an evening, a couple, just because there's so many people. I want it to be a little bit smaller sessions so that we can have questions and answers. So I'll do that.
is that the one that the state comes?
Well, typically the state comes, but you don't have to have the state do it, so I can do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. I was curious why we always waited for the state to come do it every year.
I'm not sure.
Just okay.
And then we have the appointment at the end of March, but the Democratic and Republican parties will send their lists in. We'll have to determine whether we want to do in-person early voting and let the select board know 45 days before our local election. We have the town meeting and the local election on the same warrant. That's why the date to register is the 1st. The ballot testing is always dependent on when I get the cards for the tabulator and the ballots. The state does require I do it 4 days before, but I would just do it as soon as I have everything. I have to post the notice 48 hours before, so.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Can I go back just a second? There was one that was 45 days before an election. Is that to request
In-person early voting.
Okay, 45 days before. So I know that one's come up as to when we need to have our meeting, and so it's handy to know.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
5 days.
Sure. Okay.
And so then the state primary, we'll do in-person early voting for that. We have the date on there for the last day to register to vote. We'll do the ballot testing again. It's dependent on the cards and the ballots. We'll set up the in-person early voting here like last year. And then we'll have the state primary. And then the rules are different depending on how the ballot is received about when we have to, like if I mail the ballot out, it's just, and then we receive it back in the mail versus electronic. So I put all those dates on there.
Oh, for the Ucava,
Yeah.
those people, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And we'll do like we did for the local, we'll set a meeting, and if we have any that come in, then we'll do it that way.
Okay.
And again, the fall town meeting, last day to register to vote, the meeting, and then we'll have the general election. We'll have the 2 weeks before for the in-person early voting. Again, the ballot testing, I'll do it as soon as I have everything in order. And then again, the UOCAPAs, I have the dates written down there, depending on how we do the ballots.
That's it.
Great.
Okay.
It's great. It's very helpful just to know what's going on.
Right. What's coming up?
And
Yes. Good.
great. Thank you very much for putting that together.
Yeah. Really good. Thank you. Yep. And the description of, all these, the absentee voting and vote by mail,
yeah.
and that was helpful as well. It's this is state requirements.
Right. Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Yep. So good. It's helpful to, for, the board of registrars to know about the process too. And I think that kind of leads into my the next agenda item, which I kind of brought up to you,
Yes.
that I thought we could have some discussion about. I think that, just want to start out by saying I think that, this is the small town of Grafton. We have good procedures and in place and all, but, it strikes me as I, become aware of the news and what's happening across the country, and how there seems to be such a lack of confidence in government in general and the election process in particular. For a lot of people really question, is this really, are things going by the book here? Or are things happening, and all of that. So what I was thinking, this kind of works into that. How do we as a board of registrars, help the community to understand that what our process is, and, that they can have confidence in the fact that there are steps involved in all of this that are reviewed and, that are in place at the local level and the state level. So what I was thinking was some sort of a way of having a presentation of sorts of what goes on with our election process. How do we recruit poll workers? How do we train them? How do we decide dates? How do we decide the early voting stuff? And I think for most people, they don't pay attention to it, and then it something doesn't fit their paradigm of what it should be. Then there's all sorts of questioning. So if there were some sort of a presentation that perhaps was documented, on video that people could refer to, it might help just to do our part to kind of make this process transparent and build confidence in the elections in general.
Well, I did talk to Bob, and he said that we can sign up to do like an interview with him, and then we can go over the topics and discuss it. So I can do it by myself. I can do it with Todd and Mike, or I can do it with all of you. If we have all the topics, then we can have a discussion with him, and we can do different, a couple different ones if you want to. So you just mentioned poll workers, how they are recruited, and the timing.
Yeah.
And what was the other?
Just in general, the process at both the state and the local level.
The oversight, like what you do and what we all do.
Right. Right. To understand that there's a citizen's involvement here, there's a process that is good, that's.
Well, and that can live on our website too, so people can see that. We can break it up into smaller bits, and then people can watch little ones about how do I vote in person? How do I early vote? How do I, maybe on TikTok. Yeah, I guess there is a TikTok, but not
Yeah.
for my office. I don't even have TikTok.
Well, I had a couple ideas of how to do
Yeah.
this. One would be to just bake it into a select board meeting because, it's sort of a public service for the town. And then there's a built-in audience,
Okay.
and if we tell them, okay, we'd like to take whatever, 10 minutes, I can't imagine like they're going to say no.
No, they wouldn't.
Right. So I think that's good just because it's easy for people. There's Zoom, so that might be the easiest. The select board also has like ask a member times. I don't think they're as well attended, but at least there's the infrastructure. So sometimes they have two people, so they get one person and us. Mm-hmm. And then the third thing, which I think is more heavy lifting, is just ask League of Women Voters to do an event, right? Where like they really help with the logistics. They have it built in, like, mailing list and whatever. And then it can be publicized to other groups. But like as a standalone event, I mean, no offense, but I'm just like, having like a baked in audience, like with the select board, I think it's reasonable. And maybe if they say no, we could, think about something freestanding, but
I don't think they will say no. I can reach out and ask and then communicate that with you.
What's the viewership of select board meetings? Do we know how many people would actually see it or tune in?
well, it depends on the agenda. I think a decent number of people check the agenda. And then like, if there's anything like interesting, like there's all the seats are full and, there's a Zoom option. So if, we help all, get the word out.
Yeah, no, I was just curious if we had any statistics on what the viewership is now, but
I'd have to
Bob or
communicate
yeah.
that.
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah. I mean, what I was thinking was that this would be a reference, kind of video of some sort that people can refer to, that it can be shown on a regular basis.
Yeah, if it's on the website, it can be easily accessed for anybody anytime.
Do you think we could really do justice to it, 10 minutes at a select board meeting?
Well, we could do both,
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe the select board meeting is just the fact that, hey, we're going to be putting this out there. These are the different video sessions that we're going to do give them the topic. So it's more of a, hey, come to our website and see these videos kind of thing, more of an advertisement. Quick overview, maybe. Because you're right. Otherwise, I don't think 10 minutes is enough to explain everything that needs to be explained.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know off regard what their time limit would be, but even if it's just like 10 minutes to say we're going to be providing this information, but then if it's on the agenda that people can ask questions, I think that's a valuable way to engage the public.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, be opposed at all to presenting it at the select board meeting. But maybe there should be something else too that they could be referred to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
So that would be the bigger picture that I was thinking about. So what would you envision, like, presenting at 10 minutes at a select board meeting? Like, what do you think would kind of do justice to that? Like,
Well, I mean, one of the most important things is people know where to find out the dates for everything, right? And they know where to find out, like, when is town meeting, when is town election, right? Like, you see people, I see it on Facebook, people complain like, oh, I didn't know that there was a meeting. It's like, well, you don't have to like look that hard, but if it's a couple layers into the website, like, people just, might not make for it. And we don't really have like a true community-based, newspaper anymore, right? So that's an impediment. So when does everything happen? Where can I get the information? And then, explain, your role and what what you do, and the fact that we have, quite a cadre of election workers who are like, pretty carefully trained. I think those are, and then there's the whole oversight process after the voting, like just sort of maybe the highlights of all those things, not like a lot of detail, but just encourage people, like, this is an effort at transparency. There's plenty of information that we're going to put out more, but there's information like on the website, for your office, for the, state secretaries, secretaries of.
yeah.
Yeah. who oversees, has responsibility for the oversight. And also, like, even people just knowing, like, elections still live at this regulated by the state level. There's state laws, state oversight. They send the information when it's a federal election. They send the information in, but it's all controlled like relatively locally. So we all can play our part, in supporting that too.
Yeah, I think it's really important for the Board of Registrars to be presenting this together, because we're all part of the Board of Registrars, including Amy, so she has a different role as a town clerk. But I think it's important for people to know that there is a citizen component to it, that we could present it in that way.
Yeah, if you polled people, they wouldn't necessarily, not that many people know that we have, this role.
No, I remember when I was appointed, I think it wasn't after that. I presented one time at the Board of Registrars meeting. I mean, not Board of Registrars, the Board of Select Board. Just, turn to the audience to say, this is what we do. This is the Board of Registrars. And this is what I didn't even have enough info to present about what the election process is at that point, because I was so new at it. But just to let people know that, yeah, your fellow citizens are involved in this process.
And we have open meetings. People can come and ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
sure.
That alone is worth, getting out there. We exist. What's our composition? What's our charge? And there's open meetings.
Yep.
If there's a concern, they can come and ask.
Yes. Right. Yeah. People should know that. Yeah.
Because that's also a level of transparency. Like, I wouldn't know that there were open meetings unless, Yeah.
I mean, they are on the Access channel. So I don't know if you've looked at yourselves on the Access channel.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's really astounding. But anyway, I mean, it is there for people to find it and all, but how many people actually do it, I don't know. But it's nice to have reference to something like this. That's what I was thinking of. Mm-hmm. If people have question about what you do or what we do or, what the election process is, they can refer to it, say, I'll look it up on the Access channel. So how to proceed with it would be the next step. I guess that what we would need to do would be to have, there'd be two parts to this. One would be the select board presentation, and then the other would be working on something a little bit more elaborate that we could put on the Access channel.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to the select board. We'll probably want to do it in January just because we don't want to do it this year. People, if they send me their applications, they're on a yearly cycle. So probably January would be a better time to do that. So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It really is an important kind of thing, Democracy at work. All right. So, good. Thank you, Amy and everybody, for your comments. I think that was makes a lot of sense. Okay. So, you know what? We made it through most of our agenda here, except for scheduling our next meeting.
So could I add a little note to that? I talked to Bob in regards to the taping. Mondays and Fridays are not the best days for him. I don't know what your schedules are because they're taping it now, but
Okay.
he said those aren't always the best days.
Okay. I could
I don't know. I don't know what your schedule's like,
different weeks are different,
Okay.
If we propose something, we'll try to make work.
Thank you.
Tuesday mornings are good for me.
Tuesday mornings are usually good for me.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
Well, I'm here for 100 hours on Tuesdays.
Break it up a little. It's nice.
We could try that.
Tuesdays, yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of our next meeting, if we're going to present in January, we probably need to get together and figure out what we're presenting. So, do you want to find a time in December? Which I know is a tough time to for people. It's such a busy month.
Yeah.
How about the How about the 16th?
16th of December?
Yeah, I won't be here. I'm gone for a week in December and then the holidays.
What if we did early January and then did a later January meeting with the select board?
Okay.
Sounds very sensible.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Yep. So, January, we do the 6th or the 13th. Either one of those are good for me.
Yep, 6 is fine to me.
The 6th?
Well, that brings up a question. Can I participate by Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, then whatever.
Okay.
Is 10 a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure that was the same link on the agenda.
All right.
Okay. January 6th. Good. Okay. 2026. All right. So, do we have some public comments? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Good.
Welcome. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm sorry?
Can you introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Dan Fitzgerald. I live at 11 Patricia Drive in Grafton. Good morning, members of the board. Today I come before you to respectfully make a request of Registrars Bonina and Gerstein. I ask that you encourage the Grafton Democratic Town Committee to fill a current statement of organization with both the Grafton Town Clerk's Office and the Massachusetts Office of Campaign and Political Finance as required under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 52, Section 5. The Democratic Town Committee's statement of organization, which I have obtained from both the town and the Office of Campaign and Political Finance, is dated April 7th, 2022. It is now more than 3.5 years old and appears to be inaccurate in identifying the committee's current members and the title of officers held by those members. Both of you are appointed as Grafton Registrars through a regulated process that gave you preference over other Grafton residents who may have been interested in serving in that capacity. Your appointments were made in part because of your affiliation with the Grafton Democratic Town Committee. The correct identification of town committee officers and members not only ensures transparency, but also strengthens the integrity of the registrar appointment process itself. As registrars, you each refer to and abide by Massachusetts laws in carrying out your sworn duties to the town of Grafton. The same expectation should apply to the committee through which your appointments were made possible. Thank you for your time and your continued service to Grafton.
Thank you. Any discussion? Good. Good.
Well, I guess I just have a comment that it's a reasonable request, and it seems like it's in keeping with, how things are supposed to work.
Yep.
I think that, I just want to be clear, like, me personally, can I be responsible for that? No, right? We can encourage, but, we'll see what happens. You think that's a fair enough?
Yeah. I mean, I think, as members of Democratic Town Committee, we should, bring it forth and have our leadership
Do that?
do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. 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 We shall do that. Thank you. Okay, so, well, there are no other comments or agenda items. I suggest that we adjourn. Does they have a motion?
A motion we adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Okay. Thank you.